Welcome to Live Vivid, where we journey together toward living a fuller, richer life every single day, not just in body, but in mind and spirit as well. If you are someone who wants to optimize your energy, to achieve crystal clear focus, and to break through the limits you once thought impossible, you're exactly where you need to be. Today, we'll be exploring the mental strategies that empower you to push beyond fatigue, surmount distractions, and create sacred headspace for your most innovative and limitless creativity. Because ultimately, the barriers you encounter are not signs of your limits. They are invitations to transformation. Let's begin by unveiling a profound truth about mental fatigue. That moment when exhaustion grips you, convincing you that you simply cannot go on. Your eyelids grow heavy, your thoughts blur. The urge to stop, to escape, to retreat and rest feels insurmountable. But pause now and consider this. Is fatigue truly the end? Or is it just a clever illusion, a protective story spun by your brain? The reality is that the fatigue you feel isn't the actual boundary of your capability. Rather, it is your brain's ancient defense mechanism at play. For thousands of years, humans survived by conserving energy. When food was scarce and threats lurked at every corner, energy efficiency became a vital survival tactic. As a result, our brains have developed a tendency to alert us that we're tired long before we've expended our full reserves. When you encounter a challenging task, a complex problem, or a surge of creative resistance, your brain's first whisper is, save your strength, pull back, conserve. But in the safe context of our modern world, this is more obstacle than asset. Your fatigue is not proof that you're empty. Instead, it's a warning light, sometimes flashing far too soon, intended to keep you comfortable, not optimized. The feeling of tiredness is predictable and persuasive, but it is not your true edge. From this vantage point, imagine how dramatically your life can change if you learn to see fatigue not as a wall, but as a threshold, an initiatory moment. Every time you choose not to listen to that soft voice urging you to quit, every time you persevere just a little longer, you disrupt a primal pattern. Through these moments, you teach your brain where your boundaries truly lie, and you'll often find they are far further than you ever expected. So ask yourself, the last time you felt tired, were you really out of energy or merely caught by the illusion? The truth is, your environment is not a neutral backdrop. Every detail, every sound, every object, every notification and open browser tab competes for your attention. With every flicker of fatigue, every moment you heed that inner voice, you may actually be succumbing not to necessity, but to the subtle trap of stagnation. Fatigue is not your enemy. It is a signal. A signal that transformation is possible right here, right now, when you meet your discomfort with curiosity and resolve. Recognize it as the key moment to break through your own mental barriers, to build intellectual muscle and inner resilience. In this way, fatigue is your growing pain, the moment of greatest discomfort and greatest potential for breakthrough. Let's dig deeper into the hidden potential that lies just beyond exhaustion. Scientific studies have shown something remarkable. Even when you feel exhausted, your brain retains impressive reserves. Just as athletes have a second wind beyond their physical fatigue, you can train your mind to tap into its mental second wind. Mental fatigue is not the finishing line. It's the bell for the next lap. Consider this. Once you push past that initial fog of fatigue, a remarkable shift often occurs. You enter a state of heightened awareness, a mental flow. In flow, your thoughts sharpen and your focus intensifies. Tasks that felt difficult or tedious minutes earlier now become manageable, even fascinating. You stop wrestling with your thoughts and instead harness your mind's full power. Genius does not come from some inborn talent, but rather from the willingness to go beyond comfort, to endure, to adapt, to continue just a little longer. Reflect on the greatest achievers in history. Fighters like Bruce Lee, visionaries like Nikola Tesla, and Isaac Newton. They all have this one trait in common. When fatigue whispered to give up, they pushed through. Yes, rest has its place, but greatness comes from forging ahead just when average minds choose to stop. Each time you break past those sapping moments, you loosen the heavy leash of limitation and experience firsthand the marvel of your own latent power. Imagine fatigue not as an impenetrable wall, but as a stubborn chain. The more you surrender to it, the tighter it holds. But every time you challenge it, every time you persevere even a little, you weaken the links, eventually breaking them. Why be content to live on a leash when you have the capacity to roam free? Yet even as you learn to navigate mental fatigue, remember this: your environment is a stealthy saboteur of focus. We rarely consider just how much our surroundings cost us in cognitive energy. That soft chime from your phone, the blinking LED, the clutter on your desk, the faint music from the next room, minor distractions that splinter your attention and erode your capacity for deep concentration. Studies in neuroscience reveal that even a tiny interruption, a quick glance at your phone, a 30-second exchange in the middle of a task, can cost you up to 20 to 30 minutes to regain deep, unbroken focus. Each stray sound, every unread notification acts as a cognitive shock, a jolt nudging your mind out of the zone. And in a world engineered for distraction, staying focused has become a daily battle. We call this barrage of interruptions connection, but what we're actually experiencing is fragmentation. Our minds are being trained away from depth, shaped instead for constant context switching. No wonder it feels so hard to sustain real momentum with so many digital hands tugging at our thoughts. But you have the power to change your environment, to make it your ally rather than your adversary. You can craft what I call your cognitive fortress, a workspace strategically designed for deep focus and high achievement. Begin by embracing intentional minimalism. Keep only what supports your purpose and eliminate everything else. A clean, uncluttered space is an invitation for clarity. Examine your to-do list for loose ends, the unfinished tasks and open mental loops, whether it's an unanswered email, disorganized files, or a bill waiting to be paid. These dangling thoughts weigh heavily on your subconscious, stealing precious bandwidth even when you're not directly thinking about them. Set aside dedicated time to resolve these, and you'll be amazed at the mental freedom you reclaim. Next, develop a simple ritual to mark the transition into your most productive work. It could be lighting a candle, shutting a particular door, or putting on a specific piece of music. Repetition of this ritual cues your brain. It's time to focus. Over time, your mind becomes conditioned to switch into deep work mode, efficiently and reliably. Protect your focus as fiercely as a warrior guards their shield. Silence your phone. Close unnecessary browser tabs. Politely excuse yourself from interruptions. Use noise-canceling headphones if you must. Treat your focus as your most valuable currency, because in truth, it is. Underlying all these strategies is a shift in mindset, the mindset of high achievers. Focus is not a question of luck or innate ability. It is a life strategy, consciously cultivated and jealously defended. The most successful inventors, athletes, and thinkers deliberately design their surroundings and routines to maximize uninterrupted high-quality work time. They are not born different. They just refuse to let the trivial invade their sacred moments of creation. When distractions vanish, your mind operates like a finely tuned instrument capable of astonishing output. The good news? This strategic focus is not some mysterious superpower. It's a discipline you can learn, refine, and make your own. So how do you bring yourself to this peak state? Let's talk about the crucial role of silence. True creativity, innovation, and self-reflection arise in stillness, not in the relentless hum of notifications and non-stop chatter. Learn to create intentional silence for your mind. Turn off the background noise, close your eyes, and let your thoughts unfold. In these rare, quiet moments, you can finally hear your own voice, access insights that elude you in chaos, and reconnect with your deeper purpose. If you struggle with internal noise, the constant chatter of thoughts, worries, and regrets, a few minutes of meditation or mindful breathing can work wonders. Imagine silence as fertile soil. It is where ideas germinate, where your best self blossoms. As you go about your day, cherish these times of intentional quiet. Let them guide you back to your center and refill your mental energy reserves. Don't let the noise of the world drown out the genius within. Find or create your own space of stillness, an oasis where you are free to think and to dream without bounds. Before we close, let's bring these ideas together in one harmonious message. Focus, persistence, and environment are your three fundamental keys to achievement. Fatigue isn't the foe you once thought. More often, it's a mirage waiting to be dispelled or a challenge to transcend. Distractions are not your inescapable reality. They're problems with identifiable solutions, solutions you now possess. Start with small changes. Tidy your workspace. Resolve one open task. Breathe in a few moments of silence. The cumulative impact of modest daily improvements is immense. Day by day, these new practices compound, producing a transformation you'll witness in your work, your creativity, and your sense of self. Never allow tiredness, distractions, or your current circumstances to convince you that you've reached your limit. Each day, you have the opportunity and the responsibility to claim more of your potential. If you desire to discover more strategies to energize your life, unleash your creativity, and fill each day with meaning and color, you are invited to join our growing community. Stay tuned for more insights, practical tips, and cutting-edge science designed to empower you for the journey ahead. Remember to subscribe and activate notifications so you'll never miss a chance to become your most vivid self. Thank you for investing this time in yourself and for joining us today. Carry this message with you. Live with intensity, with bravery, and with integrity. Live vividly, live energetically, and above all, live for yourself. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and break through every boundary you've ever known. The life you desire, a vibrant, purposeful life, is within your reach. All you have to do is take the next step.